Hey there, Cinemaster fans.
I want to go back to the morning my dad found. No!
Hope you're ready for some movie magic. Let's dive right in. The movie Wish Upon begins with a woman named Jumana throwing something strange into the trash. It's evident from her expression that she is scared of something. Her daughter, Claire, is outside playing on her bicycle in the garden. After finishing, she returns home and notices how quiet the house is, with no sound at all. She searches for her mother, Jumana, throughout the house until she enters her room, only to find her crying and ending her life. Suddenly, Claire wakes up from a dream as an older girl. We learn that she often dreams about the day her mother passed away, with no explanation for why her mother ended her life, despite them being a good family with stable financial conditions. Claire gets ready to go to school and rides her bicycle to get there quickly. On her way, she passes by her uncle's house and tries to turn her bike around to give him his newspaper. However, her classmates, who frequently bully her at school, see her and try to hit her with their car. Claire manages to avoid them, falls to the ground, and hands her uncle the newspaper. When she arrives at school, she sees her father, John, who works as a janitor, along with his friend Carlo, collecting trash from the school's dumpster. She talks to her father and asks him not to collect trash from her school because she feels embarrassed in front of her classmates, especially since they know her father is a janitor. John feels affected by her words, as she is ashamed of him, and he leaves with Carlo. Claire then enters the school and hangs up a drawing she made with her friends, Joey and Amy. Suddenly, her classmate Darcy, who dislikes her and often bullies her, throws coffee on her drawing. Claire tries to ignore her because Darcy is the daughter of a very wealthy businessman, and fighting with her might cause problems. Claire enters her Chinese language class, and her classmate Ryan compliments her drawing, saying he liked it. However, Claire is unfocused, her thoughts occupied by her classmate Paul, whom she has a crush on. Meanwhile, her father John is working and collecting trash when he stumbles upon a small box resembling a children's toy. He decides to keep it. Claire is sitting with her friends during lunch at school when Darcy comes over to bully her again. This time, Claire decides not to stay silent and bullies her back. Darcy gets upset and slaps Claire, who retaliates, leading to a fight between the two. After school, Claire visits her neighbor DeLuca, who was her mother's friend, and tells her about Darcy's bullying. DeLuca advises her not to let anyone bother her and to always stand up for herself, even if it means fighting back, because if she stays silent, she will face this problem for the rest of her life. When Claire returns home, her father John gives her the box he found in the trash. She is impressed by its appearance and notices Chinese writing on it. She manages to translate only 2 words, 7 wishes. She dismisses it, thinking it's just a children's toy, and starts scrolling through Instagram. She is shocked to see that Darcy, the classmate who fought with her at school, has posted a picture of her father John working and collecting trash, captioning it, "Claire's janitor father." Clearly, Darcy did this out of revenge. Claire then picks up the box, talking to herself, and wishes for Darcy to rot and have a disfigured face. That night, Claire goes to sleep, and the box mysteriously opens on its own, playing strange music before closing again. The next morning, Darcy wakes up to find her leg rotting and her face disfigured. At school, Claire learns from her friend Amy that Darcy's face has become disfigured. Claire is shocked by the news, realizing that her wish has come true quickly. She discovers that the Chinese box she possesses grants wishes. However, when she returns home, she is devastated to find her dog dead. She photographs the Chinese writing on the box and takes it to her Chinese teacher for help in reading it. The teacher explains that the box is inscribed in ancient Chinese, a language used thousands of years ago by the Chinese. Unfortunately, he is not familiar with the language and cannot read the box. Ryan overhears her conversation with the teacher and offers to contact his cousin Jana, who can read ancient Chinese. When Claire returns home, she is grieving the loss of her dog. She opens Instagram and sees pictures of her crush, Paul. She picks up the box and wishes for Paul to fall in love with her. The next day at school, her wish comes true as Paul approaches her, expressing his admiration. Meanwhile, Claire's uncle is at home taking a bath. He slips in the tub, hits his head, and drowns as the tub fills with water. When Claire returns home, her father, John, tells her that her uncle has passed away and that all his inheritance will likely go to his son in Australia. Claire is upset because her uncle was very wealthy and she wanted a share of the inheritance to live a luxurious life, considering her father works as a janitor. Claire goes to her room, takes the box, and wishes for her uncle to write all his inheritance in her name. The next day, John receives a call from his brother's lawyer, informing him that his deceased brother had written his house and entire inheritance in Claire's name. John is shocked by the news and tells Claire what happened. She is overjoyed because the box is granting her every wish. However, she is still unaware that every wish comes at a cost, the death of someone someone close to her. Later, her neighbor, DeLuca, visits to congratulate her, feeling happy for her as she considers Claire like her own daughter. Finally, Claire moves into her uncle's luxurious house and begins to spend the money she inherited to pamper herself. She buys clothes for herself and her friends and treats them to skincare sessions. One night, while drawing in her room, she is startled when the box opens on its own, playing strange music, signaling that something terrifying is about to happen. Meanwhile, her neighbor, DeLuca, is at home preparing dinner. While washing her hands in the sink, she notices the drain is clogged. She reaches into the drain to unclog it, but accidentally activates the garbage disposal, which pulls her hair in until her neck snaps, killing her. That night, Claire has a nightmare about the box and wakes up startled. She sees the shadow of someone standing on her balcony. When she goes to check, she finds no one, but she begins to feel that something unnatural is happening because of the box. At school, she sees Paul breaking up with his girlfriend and coming over to talk to her, inviting her to dinner. This was her initial wish when she wished for Paul to fall in love with her. After school, she meets her friend Ryan and tells him she wants to meet his cousin, Jana, to translate the writing on the box. Ryan takes her to Jana, who reads the writing and explains that the box grants its owner 7 wishes. However, if the owner abandons or discards the box, it will reset time, undoing all the wishes, even if they had already come true. Jana notices the name Lumi written on the box and researches it, discovering that Lumi was a Chinese woman who created a demonic language on the box. To move from the gang that wiped out her family in 1910, within 10 years, Lumi managed to eliminate all her enemies and became the richest woman in China. But in 1922, something inexplicable happened. Lumi ended her life. Afterward, Jana mentioned that there were words on the box she couldn't translate, so she decided to email one of her friends in China to translate it as quickly as possible. Meanwhile, Claire decided to return home, and on her way, she saw her father, John, working with his friend Carlo collecting garbage. She got out of the car to talk to him and asked him to quit his job as a cleaner since they had become wealthy and needed to maintain their social image. This was because she had inherited money from her deceased uncle. John refused, saying he loved his job and was proud to be a cleaner. Claire got upset, and when she returned home, she used the box and wished that her father would no longer work as a cleaner and instead become someone she could proudly show off to her friends. At that moment, Jana received an email containing the translation of the text she couldn't read on the box. Suddenly, the electricity went out and her phone lost signal. The wish box opened on its own as usual. Eerie music played, signaling that someone would die. Claire's wish came true, and her father gave up his cleaning job to become a musician. Claire was proud of him for changing and becoming an artist. Meanwhile, Jana stepped outside to get a better signal and called her cousin Ryan to inform him about the text she couldn't read on the box. However, Ryan didn't answer his phone. When Jana re-entered the house, she tripped on the carpet, fell onto a sharp statue, and died. The next day, Ryan visited Jana to find out why she had called him. He was shocked to find her body and realized she had died. He then went to meet Claire at school and told her that his cousin Jana had died and that anyone who made a wish using the box caused the death of someone close to them or someone they had interacted with. He asked Claire if she had made any wishes with the box. Claire became nervous and lied, denying she had made any wishes. She dismissed his claims as mere superstition. Later, Claire confided in her boyfriend Paul, feeling guilty for causing the deaths of many people due to her wishes. When she returned home, she reflected seriously on everything that had happened. She convinced herself that she wasn't responsible for the deaths and that the box was to blame. Determined, she decided her next wish would be something significant to improve her life. She wished to become the most popular girl in school, loved by all the students. Shortly after, Paul sent her a message inviting her to a party at his house to celebrate their relationship. At the party, Claire noticed everyone looking at her admiringly, realizing the box had fulfilled her wish. Afterward, she returned home and had a nightmare about the box as usual. When she woke up, she saw someone standing on the balcony. She ran after them, but they escaped. She realized that person was a thief trying to steal the box. Claire hid the box and went to her neighbor, DeLuca, who was the closest person to her, to talk and share everything about the box. However, she found DeLuca dead in the kitchen with her neck broken. Feeling guilty, Claire went to school, overwhelmed by the thought that her wishes had caused DeLuca's death. She later spoke with her friends Joey and Amy, inviting them to her house to explain everything about the box. Amy advised her to get rid of the box as soon as possible because if she made another wish, it could lead to the death of someone close to her, like her father John. One day, Claire attended a party with her friends. Joey asked if she had gotten rid of the box, but Claire lied, claiming she had. Paul then showed her photos of her at home, revealing he had been watching her. Claire was upset and broke up with him. She later confessed to Joey that she still had the box. Meanwhile, Amy was in an elevator that suddenly malfunctioned and fell from a high floor, killing her. Joey was devastated and blamed Claire for Amy's death, accusing her of not getting rid of the box. Amy's death was caused by Claire's wish to become popular. Claire then met Ryan, who showed her the people who had previously owned the box, revealing that they had all mysteriously ended their lives. He explained that after making 7 wishes, the devil would take their soul because the box was cursed. Claire broke down and revealed she had already made 5 wishes. Ryan tried to destroy the box, but it was indestructible. Claire returned home, hid the box, and went to sleep. She woke up to find Paul in front of her, saying he couldn't live without her before ending his life. When the paramedics arrived to take Paul's body, Claire discovered the box had been stolen. Later, tax officials informed her that her uncle, from whom she had inherited the money, had been evading taxes, and as a result, all her assets were seized. Claire was forced to return to her old house, upset about going back to her ordinary life. One day at school, Claire saw the wish box in Joey's locker. When confronted, Joey admitted to stealing the box while Claire was calling the paramedics for Paul. Joey explained she did it to prevent Claire from making more wishes and causing more deaths. Claire fought with Joey, took the box, and pushed her down the stairs. Ryan tried to reason with Claire and take the box, but she lashed out at him and told him to stay away. Back home, Claire lost control and wished for her mother, Jumana, to come back to life. The wish was granted, and her mother appeared with her younger siblings. When Claire went to her mother's room, she saw a painting of the wish box, realizing her mother had once owned it and ended her life because of it. Suddenly, the box opened on its own. Meanwhile, her father, John, was holding a ladder for his friend Carl, who was cutting tree branches with a chainsaw. Realizing her father would be the next victim, Claire rushed to save him, but it was too late. The chainsaw fell on John's neck, killing him. Devastated, Claire went to her room and wished to go back in time to the day her father found the box. Her wish was granted. She woke up with her dog beside her, played with him, and then asked her father if she could join him at work collecting garbage. When she found the box, she put it in her bag and asked Ryan to bury it somewhere far away without opening it. Ryan agreed, and Claire walked away, happy to have gotten rid of the box. Suddenly, her classmate Darcy hit her with her car, killing Claire. Thus, Claire's life ended because the box had fulfilled her 7 wishes. Ryan later went to bury Claire's bag. When he opened it, he saw the wish box, and he keeps it, and here the movie ends. I hope you like and subscribe to the channel.